Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Ross Johnston. In NFL news, Steelers outside linebacker T.J. Watt has been in the hospital since yesterday for a further medical evaluation of his lung after it was injured during a treatment session Wednesday afternoon. The Steelers host the Dolphins on Monday night in Acrisure Stadium for a pivotal AFC game. We've had a couple SEC corners declare for the NFL draft. Tennessee's Jermod McCoy announced yesterday he will be entering the 2026 draft after missing the entire season due to injury. Also, South Carolina's Brandon Cisse announced today that he will be entering the 2026 draft as well. Both McCoy and Cisse are projected first-round picks. The Cincinnati Bengals placed defensive end Trey Hendrickson on IR due to his hip/pelvis injury. This will sideline him for at least 6 weeks and likely the rest of the season due to the Bengals' current record of 4-9. And lastly, in big news, yesterday Michigan fired head coach Sherrone Moore with cause due to an improper relationship with a staff member. Moore was detained and held in the Washtenaw County Jail last night in Michigan, as more details are expected to come out shortly once the investigation proceeds. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is number. Got a loaded show because, a lot of news dropped after we got off the air. We'll talk about Sherrone Moore and everything going on with him. We'll hear from Dan Orlovsky talking about it and a Michigan historian who gives us a little bit more details on what's actually going down. We'll hear from him as well. I heard that clip on my way in this morning, so I clipped that off for everybody. We got I guess let's start with some University of Tennessee news. Jermod McCoy, who missed the entire season, is declaring for the NFL draft. Oh. We haven't heard from Colton Hood, but we assume that Colton Hood is going to as well because it seems like his draft stock is pretty high. Both are considered first-round talents, but obviously Jermod McCoy missed the entire season, and we thought he would be back around the Georgia game, and he never showed back up. Don't know the real story around that.
He had a little hiccup or swelling.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So he's supposed to test out of this world.
I'd be surprised if either one of those guys go first round.
I would be surprised. I'm a little surprised.
Players,
yeah.
They're good players. I'm using McCoy as an example. I know he's a corner, a little bit different, but we got a guy on the Titans here, number 23.
Yep.
He tore his ACL. Yeah, he was a first-round projection. He went third round.
And had just as good, if not better, tape. Again, different position, but...
Right. It's going to play out a little bit like that. So I think Hood, it'd be interesting. If Hood runs, I love what I saw in his aggressive nature out there corner. If he runs a good 40 time, I think then it probably will change. If he runs in the 4.4 range, I think then... Because that's the only thing I would say that I saw just something I like, I don't know how fast and twitchy he is. So without knowing that, see what he does on his pro day as well as at the combine. So if he doesn't do that, I don't know if they'll make it squeak into the first. But I don't know the depth of the cornerback position at this point.
No, I don't really, to be honest, either. I know that there's a lot of people. There's another guy from Toledo. Obviously, Toledo is just turning out
quarterback mecca, right?
Yeah, my gosh. And I know there's him, and then there's, of course, Avion Terrell, A.J. Terrell's little brother over at Clemson. Dalen Everett is going to be around there somewhere. He's playing at Georgia, who is kind of playing out of his mind this last month. So there's a lot of different guys. But I'm with you. I think it does come down to the testing because I don't think Kevin Winston did any athletic testing. I don't think he was able to. I'll have to go back and check now that you bring that up. I should have checked that. But Jermod McCoy is allegedly going to do athletic testing, and that may help. So much like it will help Colton Hood, how far removed and how springy and athletic and fast, and how much can he put on, his lower body, all that will be tested over the summer. But I do wonder, to your point, will they really both go first round? I mean, there's a chance, but it's also it feels like the way that the draft may shake out because there's teams that are desperate needed quarterbacks, edge rushers, obviously an offensive lineman. How many teams at the bottom half of the round where they're projected to go really need cornerbacks? And that's something that we'll have to wait to see how the draft order shakes out.
Unfair for this draft, but I'm going to just compare them to a former Tennessee Vol. And I don't think either one of them are better than him. But this is a different draft.
Yeah.
And that's Alontae Taylor. I don't think they're better than him.
Ooh, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good.
He went. Did he go first round or second round? In the second round? Did he go second round?
Thought second round, but not completely
exactly.
sure.
They're not better than him. And matter of fact, I think he's a free agent, so Titans sign him. Please do.
Yes. Second round.
Yeah, they're not better than him. They're not better.
Yeah.
But this is a different draft, as you mentioned.
Right.
And so you just kind of look at it, and I think they're second, third round guys. That's kind of how I view it for NFL. Depending on if they run fast time, then that kind of takes everything off the board, especially at the combine.
Yeah.
I mean, if they run a scorching, you start working with all these trainers, man, and they get you running. You talking about some money, man.
Maybe that's what Jermod McCoy's been doing this whole time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
he may
why
have been.
risk it? Why risk it? Right
I'll
now,
do my
I know
workouts
worst
with the
case
team.
scenario, I'm a second rounder.
Yeah.
If I run fast 40 and all this, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see how those two guys play out. And of course, then you got Jonathan Joseph, or not Jonathan Josephs. That's
Joseph's the pass rusher.
Joshua Joseph.
Titans legend Jonathan Joseph.
Not Titans legend Jonathan Joseph, but yes, Joshua Joseph's coming out. And again, I just go back to Tim Banks getting fired.
Yeah. You know what? I really liked him last year. I thought he was compared to Pierce, he was a better all-around player. Wasn't as explosive as pass rusher as Pierce naturally. So I'm just wondering how they're going to view how he played this season. I don't know his numbers or anything, but I like him, and I think he's probably I would assume he's second round. But I mean, you just think about this. I think he's better than Femi.
I would agree
only
with that.
Only because he has more experience playing the position at this point in time. And so Femi went second round. So I'm like, well, he's at least that.
Yeah. He should be, because I think his athletic testing will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee may have a first-round linebacker next year as well, and Arian Carter potentially.
Yeah, I'm talking about he may come out.
Early? Or like this year?
About. Yeah, and he'll probably be a mid-round, but if he stayed, he definitely would.
Yeah, he's out of Smyrna. He is a beast.
Yeah,
you talk about a guy that I think is, you talk about being well-rounded as a linebacker, run game, pass game, all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got.
He missed some games because he's got something. He got doubled something wrong with his toe.
That'll get cleaned up.
Yeah, like a turf toe or something. I don't know, man. But it kept him out of some games, by the way. He dressed, but they didn't play him.
Yeah. Okay, we got to hear from Joe Burrow. I know I'm switching things up on you here, Ross, but
my favorite quarterback.
I know, and it does not sound great for your favorite quarterback.
It's so painful.
I mean, I know we're going to get into it, but the parallels with him and old Andrew are just.
Well, that's what it's seeming like. And so yesterday, Joe Burrow turned 29, which also seems really old for Joe Burrow for some reason. I mean, I know that he stayed a little bit later in college, but just feels like that's the wrong number. And initially, he shows up. He thanked reporters and left after answering a couple of questions, and then kind of a lull emerged. He returned to take more questions, and that's when things got very interesting. Here's what Joe Burrow had to say.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it seemed frustrating.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above. Like you said, there's nothing. All we can do is focus week to week and try to win games. I don't think anybody's really thinking about the playoffs right now. That's within reach, but on our fingertips. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing and try to get better.
He was asked later when it changed from being fun, and he said, quote, "I'm not sure there was a singular moment or time. It's just reflection. Reflection on a lot of things that I've done and been through in my career. You know, I've been through more than most, and certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so I'm just trying to have fun doing it again." And that's tough. Like, and I know that there's going to be people who say, well, you're a football player, deal with it, man up, whatever. I don't know. Like, he's taken a beating. I do kind of agree. Outside of maybe Andrew Luck, he's been the most beat up quarterback at the start of his career. And we saw that Andrew Luck was happier away from the game. And I'm sure he wished it would have turned out differently. But sometimes these things just happen for athletes or for people of all walks of life.
Yeah, I don't know how to take this, man. I don't know if the way he said it so casually and so calmly. He said, I'm just taking every game week to week. Maybe just the culmination of all these injuries that he's had since he's been in the National Football League, by the way. Mm-hmm. That's been a lot, and just kind of fighting through all of that, and then maybe not playing on a winning team could wear on you as well. Remember now, he went to the Super Bowl and lost. So I don't know. If I want to make a bet, if I was guessing, let's say guessing game, I would say this is more a pitch of, if we don't get this thing right, man, you need to trade me. I think about more Carson Palmer-esque type. My career, if I stay, this is not going to end the way I want it. So I think he's thinking about, hey man, y'all need to, probably ship me out. I'm looking at it more like, I'm not going to be the woe is me, oh pity you're making $50 million. Hey man, that's just what comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So cool that he got to express that, but yeah, I think it's more down that road. If I was guessing.
I wondered if it was either that or that's a subliminal message, like if things don't change around here, I'm asking for a trade or I'm retiring.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because if he retires, he still gets all of his fully guaranteed money. Just saying, throwing that out there. I mean, he can still get paid. But
how's that?
That's just how it works in the NFL for what I don't know. Maybe they could put a special provision.
When did this change?
Oh, that's been.
So okay. So Barry Sanders retired. He got his money. No. Did he? Megatron got his money?
Then it must have changed because that is a.
I'm just wondering if it changed because I'm going through different eras.
Yeah, because typically you get your fully guaranteed money still, whatever you're owed.
Right.
Not your continued contract,
right.
but
so you're saying his contract is fully guaranteed?
Oh, I don't know what's left to be paid.
Said. You said he'll get his money.
He gets his fully guaranteed money. I'm assuming he just signed
guaranteed money. Yeah. You didn't say that. You said he gets his contract.
I said he gets his guaranteed money.
Well. You act like that's his entire contract. His entire contract is not guaranteed.
If that's how everybody took it, then I apologize.
Yeah, how did you take it?
No, I was with Zach on that one.
He just said guaranteed money. The guaranteed money is typically in the first 2 rounds. We went through this the other day. So it's not like his entire contract. So if he gets cut, I don't know if his guarantees are over with. The pay stops that day in the National Football League. Now, quarterbacks are a little bit different. But his guarantees is that's it. He's gonna get his entire contract if he retired. You stated he gets an entire contract if he retires.
I did not state that.
You said guaranteed money?
Yes, okay. I said guaranteed, and he signed
because that's how the athletes kind of talk about it. And guarantees is only really pretty much you sign a bonus in the first 2 years of the contract. You would sign a 5-year deal.
Yes, and
a lot of it was guaranteed, by the way.
Yeah, so 100, but he may have gotten paid most of it up front. I'm just saying whatever's guaranteed,
right?
He may get.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
So he got.
What I was trying to make sure people understand is NFL contracts are not guaranteed. Watson was an exception to the rule.
Yeah, 35.25. Like if he were to retire today, he would still be owed $35.25 million from the 2026 year.
Okay, because that was still part of the guarantee.
Yeah, because that was still that actually guaranteed last league day.
Yeah, so that was kind of like how was it Drew Brees or who was the quarterback? What's his name? Derek Carr.
Yeah,
Derek Carr.
And if he were to, let's say, push off his retirement to the 5th day of league year this year, that's an additional $18.3 million. So on
That's why
top
I
of
said
that,
quarterbacks are an
35.25.
exception, but
Yeah.
typically if a
Yeah,
guy
this
retires,
is totally different.
Yeah, you are done with your pay immediately
Yeah.
But with,
if you get past those guarantees.
But I also wonder if this is like fire Zach Taylor, get me an offensive lineman. Here's my list of demands kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, like he looked pretty dejected. I mean, he says it calmly,
defeated. I mean,
but his look looks like he's worn out.
and both of y'all, so now both of y'all basically said this, and I agree. I think it's more of a trade thing because I think the Bengals have failed Joe Burrow in a lot of ways. The one way they haven't is he's always had some weapons on the perimeter to work with. Chase and Higgins, outside of his rookie year didn't have great weapons, but the lack of protection for him. I mean, we watched him in a game here, a playoff game, get sacked 9 times and win the game. The Super Bowl, if he has maybe half a second more to throw that football at the end, they win that Super Bowl.
Win.
Like, and the defense last year with the season he put together, so I don't see it much as a retirement thing. It could be. I just think it's more of we need to fix things.
A threat. It's not a threat, but it's a threat. You get what I'm saying?
I'm going to just say it implied message.
Yeah, implied messaging. I like it. It's a subliminal message. Like if you play.
Here's the only part why I don't feel sorry for the quarterback I like the most in the league is you were getting all of that, getting hit, as you mentioned, Ross, before.
Yeah.
Now you got paid.
And you
now
also got your receivers paid.
Right. You got your receivers paid, which you were big in that whole process.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they thought that this is how we're going to play this out.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to not have elite linemen with you. We gave it to both our receivers.
Oof,
you
man.
get rid of the ball.
Do you think he's regretting that a little bit behind the scenes? It's like, man, maybe I should have got some money.
I think he's just trying to push the
Should have paid
envelope
for
a little
Dan
bit,
Moore.
man.
Don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But have they even drafted an offensive lineman pretty high recently? Or I feel like they haven't drafted somebody that high since like Jonah Williams.
I mean, he sounded like his demeanor, like vocally and how he looked, just looks like a dejected guy.
And he is tough. Like he fights through stuff,
he is, man.
Man, he be getting killed out there though.
But there's only so like
that's what I say. Hey, man, this dude is a different cat, man.
Yeah.
He taking some shots.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably more about Zach Taylor than anything else.
Oh.
Is how I take it. But I mean, to your point, like, you mean, things got to change, is basically what Joe Burrow's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if things don't change, I don't know what kind of Joe Burrow you're going to get. I mean, he's always probably going to be the competitor, so maybe that's the wrong way to put it. If he's out there, he's going to give it his all. But man, it just sounds like he's done. Like, and I hate that.
And it's funny, though, because when they asked him, they said, well, what has changed? And he said, well, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
so
because he did say
outside of
personal.
football.
Yeah,
he did. He did not X that out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa. So, so it could be a whole bunch of things, and I could be, to the left on a whole part of this of, Joe Burrow, but man, dang.
But the NFL's all perked up right now. Probably teams are, getting together with their general managers and their pro scouting department and saying, what kind of package where's our salary cap at? What kind of package can we offer for Joe Burrow?
Where's a good fit? Where do you think he'd like to go?
Would you trade Cam Ward for Joe Burrow?
Oh, I don't know.
Straight up.
I don't know if they do
Just
that.
QB for QB.
What about Cam Ward plus your first? Would you go for Joe Burrow?
Well, let's first start about when I
You want to answer this on the way back?
What I was asking was, where's a good fit? You don't want to go to somewhere where the offensive line is just as bad. I mean, what are you talking about here?
But you got some cap space. Maybe you could fix some of that.
I know it's been like a big topic this week because of their QB situation this week, but I really think the Colts would be a great fit because you got a good run game, pretty good offensive line. Got some weapons on the outside as well. Got a great tight end.
That's what I'm talking about.
He
wants
fit.
to be in a situation where
that would be one to watch out for. All right, coming up next, let's pick this conversation up. Coming up next, I do want to dive more into that conversation about maybe the Colts, Lou Anarumo, Joe Burrow, all that kind of stuff. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades. This locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. I'll be home for Christmas. If only in my dreams.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast daily. Circa Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
My dad and I used to golf together all the time, but when he hurt his back, it was over.
To have your son want to spend time with you is amazing. That's why my chronic back pain has been so heartbreaking. Surgery, fused bones, long recovery. No way, not for me. A friend recommended stem cells, so I gave Kellum Stem Cell Institute a call.
I'm glad you're out on the course.
Yeah, it's really good.
Call the Kellum Stem Cell Institute today. Swing still looks just okay though.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is number. We're having just a little fun of maybe some landing spots for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we're in the dream world.
I just asked jokingly, would you trade Cam Ward in your first overall pick for Joe Burrow? Would he even want to come here? You mentioned the Colts, Ross, but you forgot that the Colts have no first-round picks.
Yeah, that's right. Do the Minnesota Vikings have a first-round pick?
Well, see, that's where I was going to get to here is that we came up with a couple of lists of teams that would possibly be interested. Now, obviously, the Bengals would have to be interested as well. But for those that may have missed it, Joe Burrow had a press conference yesterday. It's his 29th birthday, period of self-reflection. He talks about the on-field and off-field stuff that's kind of making him not feel like he really loves the game. Quote, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, what am I doing it for? He was asked when it changed from being fun. He goes, I'm not sure there was a singular moment or time, Burrow said. It's just reflection on a lot of things that I've done and been through in my career. I've been through more than most, and certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so I'm just trying to have fun doing it again. He also talked about being out of the playoffs as well, which was a little interesting nugget to throw in there. So we kind of came up with a few. Jets spring to top of mind because they got the Colts picks. They got all the Colts picks. They have no quarterback for next year besides maybe who they draft, but wouldn't you? And Aaron Glenn saw what a trade for a quarterback can do for a team that's kind of flailing because he was there when the Detroit Lions traded for Jared Goff. So he saw the ramifications of that trade. Now, obviously,
they have O-line?
Yeah.
I'm looking like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have a pretty good O-line.
Talk about going to a worse organization, though. Good
you
Lord.
would be going to a worse organization, but not an organization that's trying to turn it around, though. I mean, you still got worse ownership, maybe.
Yeah,
Mike Brown's maybe not that great of an owner either, so I don't know.
I was just going to say,
your point,
how many years now have they been trying to turn it around, right?
Yeah, and maybe they want to just do a full reset and get their guy, but that is a team that has picks, so that's a team that needs to be on the radar. The Dolphins seems like a good one. You got a good run game there. You would have maybe Tyreek Hill interested in coming back. You would have Jalen Waddle. Mike McDaniel looks to be saving his job. And to think what Mike McDaniel could do with Joe Burrow and that run game would be really, really smart. But then you may send Tua back, and Tua may die behind that Bengals offensive line.
Quick throw a passing game, man.
Yeah.
I think the other team we said was maybe Murray from Arizona.
Yeah, I think Arizona is one of those situations where you could trade Kyler Murray in a first-round pick for Joe Burrow, and Kyler Murray can probably at least buy time behind that offensive line.
Yeah. And you got two weapons.
Yeah. Another team kind of like that is the Eagles. There's already talks that the Eagles are, how the Eagles fan base is anyway, in the media up there. They already want to draft a quarterback in this year's draft, maybe like a second-round quarterback, kind of like Jalen Hurts was. But Jalen Hurts and a first-round pick for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow comes over to the Eagles. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown.
Go ahead and put the ring on his finger on it.
That's what that sounds like right there.
Yeah, that would be, as long as he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good fit. In that same vein, I know the Jaguars are having a good season. Trevor Lawrence isn't all that. So would you think that maybe trade Trevor Lawrence to the Bengals? The Bengals get to kind of hit a minor reset a little bit with a younger quarterback. But you got Joe Burrow over at the Jaguars, and I don't want that to happen, but that would kind of make sense. Kind of be Stafford and Goff situation that the Lions went through. Goff was the younger one. Stafford was the older one.
Since you say that, what about the Rams?
The Rams is a very good one because this could be Stafford's swan song. The Rams also have 2 first-round picks thanks to the Atlanta Falcons. And if the Rams win the Super Bowl,
And he gets MVP of the Super Bowl and the
Stafford
regular
probably
season.
retires because that would be 2 Super Bowl rings.
No, man.
That's 2 Super Bowl
think
rings.
he'll retire?
He may retire. I think he's on the verge of
I'd pawn that
retiring
into
anyway.
another extension, and then I'm going to play one more year.
I was going to say, like, if he's.
I like it.
I think he will, but obviously it's a toss up with him and Drake May, who could win MVP. If Stafford wins MVP and they make it, like, how can you retire off of an MVP season?
I know you retire on top.
It's the top.
Nah.
I don't think he would, but I
mean,
think
that would be.
he would try to play
that
that
would
into
also
another
just be
year.
like-
and then
That's
he'd
like
have
first
injury
ballot
issues.
Hall of Famer right there. Like if you win Super Bowl MVP, win your second Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP, your first ballot no matter what. No matter what the conversation may be around Stafford. And he's probably already first ballot Hall of Famer, but like you are first ballot Hall of Famer. What else do you have left to prove at that point? Of course, we don't know what's in his head, but just saying.
I can't believe how well he's playing.
He's
be
playing
honest.
Some of these
very efficient.
Some of these teams, though, y'all are listening. I'm just thinking of Burrow being in those systems with those dudes around him. Like, man, like with Puka and Devontae for probably a couple more years.
Oh, my God. And Sean McVay.
Well, no, and the Eagles. With the
Eagles.
You know, Vikings, Kevin O'Connell calling plays, reuniting with Jefferson, having Addison out there as well.
I mean, I'm just saying,
Hawkinson.
reuniting with Justin Jefferson. Didn't even think about that part when we were talking about the Vikings.
That they would just have to move on from McCarthy already, honestly. Which I
or
mean,
trade McCarthy.
I'm just saying, not a
When
terrible
they
idea.
to the Bengals, they just let him slowly die.
Yeah. Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, Jaguars, Eagles, Vikings, Rams,
In
Cardinals.
theory.
All theory. All would be good. Would be pretty good for at least those teams acquiring Joe Burrow and would make somewhat sense on different things. Let's go to the phone, 615-737-1045. Let's go to Steve. Steve, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I was just thinking about when Joe Burrow came off of the IR a couple weeks ago. I believe a reporter asked him why he wants to play or why he doesn't fear injury. And his answer was kind of opposite of what it was yesterday. So I think I kind of agree with Blaine that he's kind of just twisting the Bengals arm, trying to get some help there or just not happy with the situation. And I think they mentioned on Buck's show his birthday was yesterday. So he could just be having a bad day and thinking about how he's almost 30 and, you know, things aren't going that great for him. So that's just my thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, on his birthday, he probably thought he had won a Super Bowl by then.
I'm sure. Hey, I would at least by 30.
Like, oh man, I haven't even been back.
Yeah, he's got one more year before
playoffs.
30. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, he'll turn 30 in the middle of next season, but like,
oh, he's so.
And you also just, I mean, they're technically not eliminated, but essentially that Bills loss was the nail in the coffin this season for them. So that's just bad timing with all that as well.
Yeah, and I kind of look at that when you think about the Cincinnati Bengals since they went to the Super Bowl. They went to the conference championship, lost the conference championship the next year. There was a 12-4 season. Then they've been 9-8, 9-8, and now at best they can be 8-9. And you know, they've gone through a lot. I mean, Joe Burrow hasn't played a full season since, except for last year, he played a full season, and that was his best year statistically. I mean, 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. You know, comeback. He's a 2-time comeback player of the year, by the way, which is wild. But also, I thought that. I mean, he's kind of MVP-ish.
I thought he should have been the MVP.
It was close.
And it's close.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is there anyone more valuable last year to their team than Joe Burrow was? I don't think so.
I mean, Josh Allen he's kind of still making a case this year. I know they don't have the record to back it up, but if they make it into the playoffs, I'd watch out. It seems like the Buffalo Bills are kind of hitting a different stride right now lately. But
that was my preseason MVP.
Yeah. But Blaine,
I don't know if I can win that.
But Blaine,
they started off slow.
You said Joe Burrow's your favorite quarterback. Do you want him to stay with the Bengals, or do you think he's better off somewhere else?
I love Zach's idea of the Eagles.
That would be something.
Because I don't think the Philly fan base has ever really embraced Hurts. I just believe that. I mean, I just think it's time to move on. I like Hurts. I like his demeanor. I like the way he played. He hadn't played very well this year. So yeah, and then put him in a fresh start and get him up out of there and see what it's like there with Burrow. Then I think Burrow relishes that pressure and people talking and being in kind of really the limelight when you're in that kind of market. And I think Hurts is kind of more laid back, and they just don't know how to take that in Philly. Like they want to attack Burrow. Like, okay, bring it. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Like he's that kind of guy. And I think Hurts is that way, but just in a different style, and they don't know how to take it. Like he keeps playing bad, and they just keep going at him, and he just acts like nothing going on.
Yeah, well, you know why he's playing bad this year, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched Philly very.
Oh, here's why. Because I finally got to draft him in fantasy football. So I am the reason. Because he's been an all-star. Yeah, because he's been an all-star fantasy football quarterback for like the last 3 or 4 years. And as soon as I draft him, he got me negative points last week. I still won, but he got me negative points last week. And he has been terrible this year, and it's all because of me. So it's my fault. I apologize to Jalen Hurts. I apologize to Philadelphia Eagle fans everywhere. It's definitely my fault.
Oh, you didn't get AJ Brown?
No. I tried to get AJ Brown. He got sniped from me, but I did get Devontae Smith. That's kind of worked out all right. Okay. But yeah, it was.
You try to go all Alabama guys.
That's honestly a pretty even trade too. I think Burrow's a better quarterback than Hurts, but you would throw Hurts and probably a first-round pick in there to get Joe Burrow. If you're the ones trying to lead off on that trade, I think that's pretty even.
And it's probably still going to be a late 20s pick regardless, because I'm sure, the Eagles aren't I'd be very surprised if the Eagles missed the playoffs. But, because they started out, they did start out 8-3. Now they're 8-5. So they're on a little bit of a losing streak right here. They've lost 3 in a row. Of course, the latest one to overtime to the Los Angeles Chargers. But they got the Raiders coming up next, so pretty much 9-5. Then they go at the Commanders, probably 10-5. Then at Buffalo, don't know how that game's going to roll. And then they play the Washington Commanders again. So they're probably still going to finish with 11 wins, more than likely, at some point.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
The Eagles. That's what I'm saying. I just don't
expect to win it again without question.
I just wouldn't ever. I know that people do not like Jalen Hurts, and the analysts don't like him. The media doesn't like him. And I'll just say this: if they make it into the Super Bowl, I may place a bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, because I'm not counting Jalen Hurts out when it matters most, because he has shown that when he gets in the playoffs, he's pretty good.
I know former teammates of mine do radio there, and they can. Hugh Douglas and Ike Reese, they both were Eagles, and they like, hey man, the fan base cannot stand Hurts, man, for whatever reason.
I think the thing with Jalen Hurts is it's going to sound like a knock on him. I don't mean it to be, because you obviously have to go out there and make the plays for your team, but I think every quarterback in the league on all other 31 teams envies the situation that Jalen Hurts is in. He's in objectively a better situation than all the other quarterbacks in the National Football League. Kudos to him for making the plays, obviously. Someone's got to do it, and he does a lot of stuff with his legs, but I think he's got the most around him. A lot of other quarterbacks would want that.
But this same thing happened last year, and then they turned the corner for whatever reason. I don't know what happened, and then he took off, in the passing game, and then things just kind of went away.
Well, he's 13 games in, and he's likely going to pass his passing yardage total from last year. He's already passed his 19. He's already passed his passing yardage total.
See?
And he's only thrown one more interception. Now it's 2 less games than what he played in last year, but statistically, it's not that different than what you've had.
They wanted to fire the OC.
Yeah.
And remember they were going to get rid of the head coach. They wanted to get rid of the head coach last year.
I mean, he's averaging more yards per game than he did last year in terms of passing yards.
Wow.
So I don't think it necessarily.
Oh, you talk to anybody down there, they think it's him.
See, I don't know if it's him. I don't know if he can really
him this
point
last
to
game, but I don't know, man. It's just, I'm like, why?
I think the biggest thing is that his rushing total is way down, but his rushing attempts are also way down.
Oh, they also said that he won't run.
So is that a him thing? Because he's never had issues running before.
I know. I don't know.
Or is that a Kevin Patullo thing?
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to stay in the pocket. I have no idea. But they said he doesn't run as much as
he doesn't. Before. Okay, so 13 games in this year, he's 88 yards for 3.8 yards per attempt and 8 rushing touchdowns. Last year, He had 150 attempts through 15 games, so 2 more games. 150 attempts for 630 yards, almost 300 yards more on 2 more games, and 14 touchdowns, almost 6 yards more.
True.
So he isn't running as much, but is that a him
Scheme
thing
or
a scheme thing or Kevin Patullo? Like, I don't. I know it's very trendy to hate on Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, but Jalen Hurts, the player, I mean, I think that if he were to get into the playoffs, I think they're going to turn it up. Yeah. I just would never discount the Eagles right now.
I still think it's just his personality and his style. He's so laid back. They want fiery, pumped up guy, quarterback. And like, yeah, man, we got to do better. I mean, like this energy about him. They don't like it for whatever, and it's bad. And
it doesn't help that A.J. Brown is saying what he says in the media and all that kind of stuff. And then, listen, they're missing Lane Johnson. He's been injured, and he's been very important to that offensive line, their right tackle. But the rest of their offensive line is kind of struggling.
The running game has been down this year.
Yep,
compared to last year.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think these teams, like, and I don't know, obviously, I'm not in meeting rooms or anything, but I think these teams, just you look at that Eagles offense, and it's like, what's our best course of action? Try to make Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm. We let Saquon run all over us, it's over. If we let Hurts get out of the pocket and run, it's over.
You don't think they said that last year, though?
I think they did say that last year, but also it's like now teams have a whole season of film from last year to kind of go off of. And, stuff changes from year to year.
Yes, it
does.
does.
Mindsets change, philosophies can change. I mean,
it Hurts changed.
A little bit, maybe. We'll see in playoffs.
Run as much, man.
They only see
sore, man.
Getting banged up.
So last year they saw a stacked box percentage of 25.8%. This year it's 31.5% on run play. So it did go up. To your point,
not a lot.
It did go up, but not a lot.
Saquon was killing them.
Yeah,
last year,
and they're averaging 179 points or 179 rush yards per game last year. This year it's 110. So really your difference is also not only just in Jalen Hurts, but also Saquon Barkley and what he's doing on the ground.
The O-line's not as dominant.
I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like this is a little bit more on the scheme or the offensive coordinator, because we have seen how offensive coordinator changes kind of the ebb and flow of Jalen Hurts' performance and the Eagles' offensive performance ebbs and flows with offensive coordinators.
Oh, man.
So just throwing that out there, I'm not sure this is a Jalen Hurts issue. Not saying he's the greatest quarterback or anything.
Right.
But I think that he gets a raw deal up in Philly. And maybe a change of scenery to the Cincinnati Bengals is just what he needs. Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, and then you have T. Higgins. Could work out.
You're going to have to use those legs a lot more, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Coming up next, we'll take your phone calls, 615-737-1045. I am curious, though. Would you guys trade Cam Ward in a first-round pick for Joe Burrow? Fans, call in, give us your opinion. We'll go around the room a little bit on ours. 615-737-1045. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 1045 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And I'm just having fun. I don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it should happen or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or will happen.
You know this will. People they believe in you.
I'm gonna be on like
Zach said.
You're gonna have wanted signs up.
I'm gonna be on like one of those podcasts later, those national podcasts. You'll never believe what this guy said. But if the offer were to come to the table, and the Cincinnati Bengals came to you and said, hey, we'll trade you Joe Burrow, but you have to give us Cam Ward in your first. Would you take it? Because I understand that Joe Burrow may not want to come here, and maybe that blows the whole deal up. But I don't know. I would probably entertain the idea, at least, and I'd probably pull the trigger on it. Because, I do think Joe Burrow is at least a top 2, top 3 quarterback, at the very least, in this league.
Well, for me, I'm all about fit. Yeah. As much as I love Joe Burrow, I just think he wants to be on a contending team, not a young team that's trying to, prove that they, really belong in the league. So I just don't think it's a good fit.
Could he turn this into a contending team?
No.
Okay.
No, not as currently stands.
Yeah.
No. If he can't do it with the two really good receivers,
sure.
I don't know if he can do that here. So, but man, that would it would be tempting because you always want a great quarterback, and he's a proven quarterback.
Yep.
So it's something you got to ponder, but I think that would be my reasoning if I was the GM.
And lately, if you're 30, that's like being like 26. It feels like I feel like quarterbacks are like 3 or 4 years younger than most other positions in terms of their longevity in the league, like how long they keep playing. But maybe Joe Burrow's maybe his body is feeling more 40 than it is 29 right now.
Yeah, he's definitely missed some games. And surgeries.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't for the same reason. I think it would be a big upgrade at the quarterback position, but I don't think it fits with where we are right now as a franchise. And I think they'd have to drastically change off-season plans this year and the next year compared to probably what they're thinking about doing. So I just don't think it'd be worth it.
It's just a little fun exercise. Yeah. If you guys want to call in and give your
But if
thoughts.
they did it, I wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be
Ryan.
No, who would? No.
Yeah. 615-737.
We're going to get some veteran receivers, and we're going to be off and running.
Yeah.
Be like, sorry, Joe, welcome to Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all apologizing to him.
Like we had anything to do with it.
We're so sorry you're here. We apologize that you're here.
Sorry.
All right, let's go to Tommy. Tommy, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Thanks, guys. I understand what you're saying about the Titans, but you're talking about, to me, the best quarterback in football. He would have to pass a physical, and it also would have to be more than just passing a physical, because he has been beat up ever since he got in the league. I know the first time I saw him play at Nashville, they won the game, but I think we had 4.5 sacks against him. And I would be wondering, too, about, you talked about Philadelphia. Do these high-profile quarterbacks that's had success, don't they have no trade clauses in their contracts? Because it wouldn't be about him wanting to go to Philadelphia. It would be, who would want to go to the Bengals? They got a reputation of not taking care of their quarterbacks, like Carson Palmer all those years. So I know they got great receivers, but I wouldn't want to go to Cincinnati. So thank you.
No problem, Tommy. You are correct. I mean, we were just hypothetically talking trades. I mean, obviously nothing's been rumored, but obviously the NFL is going to hear that press conference and say, maybe there's something there. But he does have a full no trade clause from 2024 all the way to 2029. So I would say that our conversation about Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans is dead. Maybe Brian Callahan would still be here. Should the Titans have kept Brian Callahan to get Joe Burrow? Just kidding.
Well, all good contracts are often broken.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. So if it was to the Eagles, I think he said, you know what?
Yeah, that one's different.
I would be open to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams, Stafford retiring. I think we're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, those ones, yes. Tennessee Titans, not so much.
Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, not so fast. Jalen Hurts also has a full no trade clause
Really?
as well.
All these big ballers, man.
Yeah, so
Nicole, his agent, she getting him right.
yeah, so that he also has a full no trade clause. So then he would have to be like, well, do I want to go to the Bengals? And probably, I don't think that's too outrageous. Yeah.
If I'm Hurts,
Yeah.
where he sits in his personality and those two weapons they got out there, I was like,
Yeah.
I think I'd be good.
There you go.
We have success there on the offense.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy, though, but they both have them, so they both have to agree, and I think they would. Let's go to Thomas and Franklin. Thomas, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Yeah, this question is for Blaine. What about the Steelers?
Ooh. Yeah, we were kind of discussing that off air earlier. What do we get? I mean, I don't know.
But also you're not. I mean, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're not trading Joe Burrow to the Steelers,
right? In the division, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that would be.
They would have to give up a lot.
Oh my gosh, they'd have to give up so much. I mean, not saying that they wouldn't, but holy crap, would they have to give up a lot? I mean, like you would have to give up almost everything. Maybe you have to give up Mike Tomlin too.
Do you think he was referencing talking about Cam Ward?
No, he was talking about Burrow 100%.
Okay. Yeah. That one doesn't make much sense. Let's go to Brandon real quick. Brandon, you're on Blaine and Zach.
Hey, afternoon, guys.
Afternoon.
It's funny that you just said Mike Tomlin, there would have to be trade value off of him as well, but I was thinking along the lines like, what if Mike Tomlin just decided, hey, I really don't want to be here in Pittsburgh anymore, and I was like, maybe a fresh place, whatever, and he came here. And then Joe Burrow was like, man, Tomlin's not even with, Pittsburgh anymore. So he's over in Tennessee. We're not in the same division. So let's entice it that way. So I just thought it would be pretty funny if that's something that would possibly something down the road that could happen. I'm not saying it will.
Right. That's where we are.
That would be something. What if the Tennessee Titans ended up with Mike Tomlin and Joe Burrow in 2026? That's what Brandon's saying. That would be the most insane offseason of all time in the NFL. Maybe all of sports.
Unbelievable.
There'd be a 30 for 30 on that one.
Oh, my gosh, there would have to be. Like, that is some, wheeling and dealing to get something like that
That's
done.
going to draw some eyeballs.
The league office.
That place would be packed.
The league office would have to investigate that.
Oh, man, I don't know.
That would be funny.
You just never know.
You never know. You never know how the NFL is going to turn out. Speaking of never knowing, I would not have expected that Michigan would be in the need of a new head coach. Let's dive into everything about that when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
I am available. You might not know this, but there's an auto repair company that pays its mechanics more than any other repair shops because they know that in this area they need great repair guys. And hey, it's a Blaine Bishop for Eurofix. And why would Eurofix do that? Well, a decent technician can make 50 to 60 grand a year, and a good technician that's pretty fast can make up to $120,000 a year. And really, really fast technician who's really, really good can make up to $180,000 a year as a mechanic. And can you believe that? Well, a lot of people look down on mechanics, and they shouldn't. Local owner Aaron Stokes is an ex-mechanic, and mechanics are what make the world go round. And everything out there has to be worked on. So did you know that Eurofix is not open on the weekends? You say, why? Because Eurofix wants their kids and mom and dads who are all working to spend time together on the weekends and not time apart. And Aaron Stokes figured out a long time ago, if home life is unhappy, work life is unhappy too. So that's why Eurofix is open Monday through Friday. And European vehicles are fixed below dealer pricing. They also give you a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs that Eurofix performs. They have 5 locations around the state of Tennessee and more to come. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or online at myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. All right.
We ready.
Sherrone Moore, who I've been calling Sherrone Moore for the longest time, and it's Sherrone.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It's a weird, like it's a double R.
We are the worst show at pronouncing names.
Don't loop me into this one.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm just saying in general.
You can loop me into all pronunciations.
So it was a wild thing, because at first they just announced the firing. And I'm like, what in the world? Why would Michigan fire this guy? I mean, like, I'm so confused. And then it turns out he's had an affair with a staffer.
Uh-huh.
And then it turns out then he is arrested or detained, I guess is the proper word. He's detained. Yeah. And then I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Oh, my God.
And it is wild. So luckily, someone much smarter than us and someone much more in the know of Michigan football, John Bacon, who has people inside the building. He is a Michigan football historian, was on the local radio show up there in Michigan on Fox. And here's what John Bacon had to say on Sherrone Moore and what went down. Dang it. On Sherrone Moore and what went down and why did the person he was having the affair with change her mind about coming forward?
Well, to work it backwards, he and this employee at the Michigan football building were investigated by the University of Michigan this summer. Both denied any relationship. But that story changed yesterday morning when she went on the Hill, as we say, the administration office, with the receipts, the text messages, the emails, documents, and so on, laying out the details of their relationship and the conflicts thereof. And that, of course, resulted in Sherrone Moore being fired. The Regents and the president had enough. Ward Manuel himself fires Sherrone Moore sometime after noon yesterday, one-on-one in their office. After that, this is where we're getting to your part. He broke into the employee's home in Pittsfield Township, which is between Ann Arbor and Saline, Michigan. Grabbed a knife, apparently, and threatened to harm her and harm himself. And that's when he became into protective custody in Michigan. So that's where that one stands.
John, what was the change? You said this has been investigated for several months, and they both had the same story until yesterday. Do we know why the script flipped for the person alleged in this matter?
Great question, and I've got partial answers to that, but none right now I can share with authority, not because I'm trying to hide or protect anybody. We can certainly assume, Ryan, that from the investigation this summer when both parties said no how and no way, and yesterday morning when she came with the receipts, as I said, lock, stock, and barrel, to exactly the person you're supposed to take it to, the general counsel and the administrators, that clearly something has soured between those two to make her do this. Now, what that was is open to speculation. But clearly there was not a healthy relationship in any way at that point. So, and of course, got almost tragic last night.
And just a crazy story with so many elements to it that, first off, I just hope that Sherrone Moore gets whatever help he needs, because clearly not in the right mental, frame of mind. And you don't want anybody or anything to happen to anybody in that certain manner, whether that's him because he's threatening suicide, he has a knife, like clearly some issues are going on there. But also I'm beginning to wonder, why all of a sudden did she come forward with all this information? Why now, when in summer they both had a totally different story? And why did she have she had all the evidence, is what this guy said. Lock, stocks, two smoking barrels brought forth to everything. Like, why now? I don't think we've gotten that answer since we've been on air.
There's some rumored stuff. So I don't know if I can. Allegedly, her salary got a big increase from last season to this season, in her position. That could be one. Also, I think people have been saying that they believe that the university knew about this for a little bit. And obviously, he just said, they investigated in the summer, but they knew about this for a little bit and delayed announcing it until after signing day, which is kind of, That's not a great look, by the way, not being honest with these families that, the kids that have committed and are signing are not going to have the head coach that they thought they were committing to. But yeah, just kind of an awful situation at the University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they investigators, they had the same story. I wonder what happened. Did he promise her that he was going to leave his wife or something?
Could be.
I mean, could be something like that.
Yeah,
That stuff's
I'm just
always
guessing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
If you come in with the same story and then, let's say 6 months later, now you're with all the receipts, you change something happened between you and him that made you do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the more logical leap is that a promise was broken between the two, and there isn't woman scorned and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh boy, and she came with everything. According, I mean, all the tweets, all the receipts, all the stories, everything, which is he did maybe it was a little bit of the like you just said, like. He promised her something. He didn't deliver. It could be maybe she was scared because, I mean, if you see him break in to
that's why he was arrested.
Yeah, but maybe there's more to that part of the story. But maybe that's not the first time he's done it. Now, I don't know. That's just me kind of like guessing or whatever. But I think, to your point, that there's more to the story that we obviously don't know. But I think it's a broken promise of some sort. That's usually how it ends.
Boy, that was crazy. When I said it was unbelievable. I was like, man, is this real? Somebody tweeting this stuff out that's fake. Let me make sure. I was making sure I was following the timeline. Like, hey, man, was this a legitimate story?
Yeah. Well, okay. So last night, you see him get fired. And then I get home, because that happened while I think I was on my way home or grocery shopping.
Like, what?
And then he got detained, right? Like, he got detained. And I sent it to a couple of people, like, do you get arrested or detained for affairs in Michigan?
Right, that's what I'm like.
I'm like, why is he detained?
Going all the time. What happened here?
What is going on? And nobody at the time that I asked that knew the story. Then more stuff came out and all that. So just an insane story. Ross, if you could play what is Michigan's next step according to John Bacon, just hang up on the guy that you're talking to. No. We gotta get to the show.
Right. Well, I mean, where do you think they're gonna go as far as coach?
Yeah.
At this point in time, at this time, by the way, but it is Michigan is big time program. They can get anybody really they want. So, I mean, I don't know what's the direction you think they'll go, or you're hearing that they may go.
Well, let's wait on that, because let's go to what he said Michigan's next steps in general are.
What did the Michigan Athletic Department know and when? What did Warren Manuel know and when? And this is a long history now of problems with the Michigan Athletic Department, whether it be football or basketball or hockey, several investigations, firings, allegations. What's next for Warren Manuel? Where does the Board of Regents go next? What are they working on today?
I guarantee they're working on those two issues. Who knew what and when? I guess I'll say this much in defense of the university. They did have the investigation internally this summer, and if both parties say there's nothing happening, there's not a lot else they can do other than respond to rumors. But now they brought in a Washington, D.C. law firm, one of the white shoe law firms, as they say, to investigate the entire department and what's happening with the entire department. That is going to be a very serious report, external, third party, of course. And that will have a lot to say, I'm sure, about Warren Manuel's future. So they are meeting, I'm sure, by phone and elsewhere, talking right now about Warren Manuel's future and the future of the football program as well. So these are both up in the air right now. I've been hearing these rumors for a while, as you say, but consenting adults, there's not a lot anybody can do. And these are rumors. But now, of course, that we're down to the nitty-gritty of reality based on the employee's report yesterday. Things have changed quite dramatically. Sherrone Moore is out of a job, and I doubt he'll ever be coaching football again.
That last part, I mean, that's a tough statement right there.
Even as an assistant?
I mean, depending on how this stuff with the police goes, because the latest, stuff with the police, we don't really know. He's still right now, it says, quote, this investigation is ongoing and under review by the Washtenaw County prosecutor. The suspect remains in custody at the Washtenaw County Jail and is expected to appear in court for arraignment on 25, which is tomorrow. The Pittsfield Township Police Department remains committed to transparency while respecting the privacy rights of both victims and the accused. We thank both the media and the public for their patience and will continue to release details regarding this incident when permissible. So we'll see how this goes. That, to me, seems probably the more determining factor whether he coaches again or not, because we've seen coaches, so many coaches, not maybe to this extent, but I do wonder, like, how many coaches are telling their side piece right now, okay, we got to pause this. We're pausing this. We got, we'll figure something out later, but we're on a break.
Well, I would think that it was more the actions that happened last night that would prevent him from being a coach again, not just what he got fired for. I think how it went down last night, allegedly.
Okay, after this is all over, whatever, if he gets time or not, let's just say in 2 years, you don't think he could get a coaching job? Watch this. In the National Football League. I didn't say head coach.
Yeah.
I'm just saying as an assistant. The reason why I say that is I think he's pretty close with the Harbaughs.
Yeah.
I don't know how far the Harbaughs will go.
Right.
But the NFL is a land of opportunity, second opportunity.
Well, you remember when Harbaugh was suspended at Michigan and he's coaching the game and he's crying on national TV, this one's for coach and all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of, and I'm not condoning either of these, by the way. I think they're more, but
I'm just saying if 2 years down the road, he's done and done whatever.
I know. I'm just saying, the two incidents with Michigan, I'm not condoning either of them. One of them's fine, but this situation, we draw the line, we'll fire him. But if you cheat to win football games, you can pick when you're suspended. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Really? Really?
Well,
because winning is more important.
Well, USA Today. USA Today interviewed a lot
I'm with you, though. I know you're
It's crazy.
Well, there is a question okay, if he beat Ohio State, would we be having this conversation in college football? Because, I think that winning means everything. And here's what a student said, a Michigan student, not a student athlete, but a student said, according to USA Today, he's keeping a live tally of everything that's going on. I'm surprised the university didn't cover it up. I feel mostly with these things, there's an administrative tendency to sweep it under the rug or maybe pay off somebody. But the fact the university followed through with an investigation for once is actually a good thing.
Well, when they did it, what did they said this summer?
Yeah, and they said that they both. Here's what that guy said, John Bacon. He said that they went to the council or whatever you want to call it, and said, no, this isn't happening. We're not in a relationship. We're not having an affair. And that was that. They took them at their word because it's two consenting adults, and they took them at their word. Okay, and so they kind of did sweep it under the rug if you want to be a little bit more specific about it.
That's what I'm getting at right there. Because all you had to do is go ask a couple employees that's right there in that office where
there was too much.
At.
There was too much out there.
There
was too much out there that's resurfaced because of yesterday's events. That
Josh Pate called it a couple of months ago.
Yeah, people knew.
He didn't go on the record to say it was Michigan.
No.
Yeah, he didn't say it was Michigan, but he said you guys are going to see a head coaching firing, an opening, and be very surprised that it happened. And he was referencing what he heard from Michigan.
I had no idea what he was talking about when he said that.
When he said that. And I was forgot.
He had receipts too.
But I'm telling you, they wanted to go through this recruiting cycle and get all these early signees signed up because if the coach is gone, they're probably going to lose some of these guys that they're recruiting.
I would assume because she brought forward the information, sweeping under the rug was too much. Was not an option anymore. She forced the hand for whatever reason. She forced that hand. All right, coming up next, we'll hear from Dan Orlovsky what he has to say about it. I'll give you my opinion on whether Kalen DeBoer should leave Alabama for Michigan,
absolutely,
and all that kind of stuff. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. Before we get more into the Sherrone Moore, I guess you would say, incident, let's go to Cedric in Murfreesboro. Cedric, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
This is Cedric.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, so, man, I've been looking at the list of candidates to go to Michigan, man, and I want to throw a name out there that I hear nobody talking about for the Michigan job, and the more I think about it, I would not mind him being a candidate for the Titans job, and that's David Shaw. Proven winner at Stanford. He's got over a 60% winning percentage. Currently the passing game coordinator, I believe, with the Lions. So he's already there, would not have to relocate his family. And with all of the scandal going on at Michigan, what better guy to come up there and absolutely clean up that mess that's up there. I think you could save some recruits. You've got a lot of cachet, I think, with some of the young folks out there because of what he's doing in Detroit with that offense and those dynamic playmakers. So I just want to throw that name out there as a name that nobody's really talking about, but I think a name that could get some juice in Michigan if they were to go that direction, and somebody I think the Titans should consider.
I like how you think
That's a smart one, you know.
like
David Shaw, you know, he obviously has extensive experience at Stanford. He is the Detroit Lions passing game coordinator currently and you know, he interviewed for the Tennessee Titans job last year before Brian Callahan got hired. So he's done that. So a lot of people have been throwing out names. Let's hear first from Dan Orlovsky on who Michigan should hire, and we'll use that as a jumping off point for our conversation on who they should hire.
You don't matter right now in the Big Ten, though. In reality, you're fourth. You're fourth when it comes to mattering. You don't matter to Ohio State because Ryan Day. You don't matter to Indiana because of Cignetti. You don't matter to Oregon because of Dan Lanning. I have been outspoken that I agree with the fast. It's got to be big. This is not something where you just go find a coach that you think is good, because you won't chase down those other programs with just a guy. This has to be.
They're not going to hire just a guy.
But there's some of those names that are on lists are just good coaches. This has to be DeBoer. I don't care about extensions if I'm Michigan. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt just signed an extension. Don't care. I'm making that call. Of course. Mike Elko at Texas A&M just signed an extension. Don't care. I'm making that call. If you're Michigan, this has to be a big name that gets you into the living room of, they have Ryan Day. Well, we have Clark Lee. They have Dan Lanning. Well, we got Mike Elko. Extensions don't matter.
So Dan Orlovsky's saying ignore extensions, ignore this and that, go out and hire a dude like Mike Elko. Now, he mentions Kalen DeBoer, and that seems to be the popular name floating out there, Kalen DeBoer. According to The Athletic, Kalen DeBoer was never actually a serious candidate for the Penn State job. DeBoer nor his representatives had any contact with anyone connected to the Penn State search. Now, who's everybody's favorite agent? Jimmy Sexton. Who's Kalen DeBoer's agent? Jimmy Sexton. So I do believe that maybe Jimmy Sexton did not float that name out there for the Penn State job. But I do think Kalen DeBoer's name's getting floated out there for A, either getting paid more by Michigan, or B, getting paid more by Alabama.
Man, then do you want him to coach the playoffs if this is actually true?
I mean, I don't know who on staff could replace him to call it better at this point. I'm not really, I'm not letting Ryan Grubb be, head coach right now.
Jamarcus Shepard, he's already going to Oregon State next year. He could get some early reps.
Yeah, there you go.
Game management.
We could do that.
But who would be your next head coach then if DeBoer took this job? Who would you want?
Easily Brian Daboll.
Okay.
Who's your second, though?
I mean, I would entertain Lane Kiffin. I just don't think it's going to happen. If my second pick,
because you've been saying
Nick
Saban. Well, because you've been saying you don't think the school will, they'll entertain Lane Kiffin, right?
That's what I've heard, and we also heard it from Chris Phillips too. He alluded to that there were some situations that go down. I don't think Dabo Swinney's a needle mover for them as well. So I'm not going to. Listen, I understand.
I'm going to go out of name.
Alabama's in the college football playoffs. I'm not going to cry if Kalen DeBoer leaves.
Oh, okay.
But I'm all in on some Brian Daboll. You were.
I'm talking about Alabama. If this did happen,
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Dan Lanning?
Oh, I would be all in on Dan Lanning.
I think Sweeney and Kiffin are the two guys. If they get offered the job, they're taking it, no questions asked. The only thing with Lanning is, would he do that? Because he's got it really good at Oregon. I know it's Alabama, but he's got it really good in Eugene.
I know. That's a tough one there, man.
That's a dang good football coach, though.
Yeah. See, I would love Dan Lanning down there at Alabama. And I think that Kalen DeBoer fits better up in the Big Ten, up in Michigan.
Because he's a Midwest guy, isn't he?
He is a Midwest guy. His demeanor and the way and his approach to the game, listen, it works. It worked for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically, he's 19-7 at Alabama, so it's technically worked here.
But that's not good enough.
It is not good enough.
That's exactly how he feels.
Yeah.
What else could I mean, 19-7, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were rumors that he may get fired if the Iron Bowl, if he lost the Iron Bowl. So, I mean, obviously you're already feeling like you're probably on thin ice in Alabama anyway.
Or if you're underappreciated.
Maybe, but I'm not going to go that far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're not a fan of DeBoer?
Yeah. I just don't think he's a fit. And I get that he's coming after. Listen, I do think he's a talented coach. This isn't a situation where I think he's overrated or anything like Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly's overrated. And if Brian Kelly becomes Alabama's head coach, I will not be an Alabama fan. Just want to throw that out there. Oh. I will be on a moratorium from rooting for Alabama. But I do think that, like, he is a good coach. I just don't think it's the right fit. And I think Michigan is a better fit for Kalen DeBoer.
Do you think Brian Kelly is a good fit for Michigan?
Oh, God, you wouldn't. If the Michigan would be insane to go through what they just went through now and to hire Brian Kelly. No. And listen, like, I'm a big Brian Daboll guy. I would love for Brian Daboll to come to Alabama. So that would be my hopes. And if Kalen DeBoer stays, Kalen DeBoer stays. You could do a lot worse than Kalen DeBoer.
I mean, that's this question is because you just never really should follow the dude, the greatest of all time. Is anybody going to ever make you satisfied as an Alabama fan after what that whole era of Nick Saban?
Yeah, because I think that if I felt like there weren't lapses in fight from this team in certain situations, that I could be like, okay, well, it was a hard-fought loss. And, you know, the Florida State loss still sticks with me. I think a few of the losses last year sticks with me. And then I also think the way that they lost to Georgia was just pitiful. And I'm not saying that Georgia's, some, bum school.
You got to remember now, Georgia was on the uptick, and y'all were kind of going
Well, that's
down.
my thing is that we always seem to be going down at the wrong time. And I'm not saying that's all on Kalen DeBoer. I'm just saying that, like, if we were fighting in that game and that was a close game, I'd be like, okay, maybe Kalen DeBoer does have some fight to him. But that team just kind of looked like lost.
Do you think there's any, like, I don't know how to phrase this exactly. Do you think there's any improvement that can happen when he has a team, if he gets to the point where he has a team of all his own guys that they've recruited instead of some guys that have the crossover with Saban? Because I think that's such a different contrast when you're a player and you've been with both guys that I don't know, you might not be able to get the best out of guys that have had it Saban's way at the start of their college career.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you could maybe possibly say that, hey, once he gets his full group of people in here, then, maybe it works and everything is flowing differently for them. But I don't know.
I mean, they're kids. I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, they listen like, oh, man, Saban would have said it like that, or Saban would have done it this way. That happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's human nature.
Yeah. I agree. I think there could be something to that.
And he has a better gauge in tempo and understanding of where his team is at because he recruited all these guys.
Yeah. A couple other, I'll tell you what, let's go to the phones and then I'm going to tell you some other names that are attached to the Michigan head coaching job, and we'll talk a little bit about them. But let's go to the phone, 615-737-1045. Drew, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, fellas.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thank you for taking my call. Everybody gets AccuWeather. Everybody gets some type of free weather app on their phone. Check Ann Arbor, 23 with flurries. Tuscaloosa, 55 and sunny right now. Kalen DeBoer is going nowhere. And let me tell you, a couple other things. First of all, why would you leave Alabama to go coach at Michigan? That's not a step up. That's not an elevation in your career. Would you not agree with that?
I don't think too many places would be a step up from Alabama.
Yeah. I think that would be hard to say, but I wouldn't say that Michigan's a step below.
And I've got one more question. I'm gonna let you guys go. For all the Michigan fans out there, all the fan base, all the Wolverines out there, was this really worth it? Was selling your souls to Jim Harbaugh for a cheating scandal, for him to leave immediately following, for him to leave this wake of destruction, and the lack of a football program just like Penn State and other schools in the Big Ten, Michigan State, you name them, it's going to be years before the Big Blue Michigan machine is back on top.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because they sold their souls to Jim Harbaugh and his cheating ways. The only way that Michigan's going to get back is if they sever everything that Jim Harbaugh brought into that program and start brand new. And that means you're going to be 4 to 6 years away before you're back to national title prominence. Thank you and have a great day.
Oh, who did he want?
He didn't say who he wanted. I don't think he's a Michigan fan. I think he's an Alabama fan.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So he wants to keep Kalen DeBoer, I guess. Kalen DeBoer, as far as the weather goes, grew up in South Dakota, Millbank, South Dakota. So I don't think that we're talking about, he's not used to the cold.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. I think he's, fine.
I think I saw something, too, yesterday that said, they've had 7 of Harbaugh's former staffers fired since he's been at Michigan. He kind of left his wake there a little bit.
Yeah, he spent a couple of seasons in the Big Ten as Indiana's offensive coordinator too, right. Kalen DeBoer. So there's Big Ten ties, there's Midwest ties. They have heard, The Athletic has heard, this is Bruce Feldman, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The Athletic has heard that he and his family really like it in Tuscaloosa, but if Alabama makes an early exit in the college football playoffs, would he be wise to think about a reset at a Big Ten blue blood with a highly touted second-year quarterback and some gifted young skill talent already in place? And DeBoer's general manager at Alabama, Courtney Morgan, played and worked as general manager at Michigan. A lot of ties there. And I think it's a lateral move for Kalen DeBoer himself because, like I said, I think he's a better fit. I understand that maybe Alabama's may be viewed by some as the better program overall. Obviously, a bunch of championships and Nick Saban and all that kind of stuff. But I do think for Kalen DeBoer himself, fit matters when you're talking about whether one job is better than the other.
Yeah. So who are your top 5 programs? I really don't know.
Oh, I haven't, as many times as you've asked that question to guess, I've never even thought about it. I'm going to have to think about that one. Yeah. And because I could name you 5, but I don't know what order I'd put them in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got to think about that one.
Talking about college football?
Yeah, college
top
football.
5?
Yeah, or you can just give me your 5.
Well, I think it's Ohio State. Mm-hmm. I think it's Alabama. Georgia. I think it's Michigan. I think it's Georgia, and I think it's Notre Dame. I don't know what order I'd put them in, but that's how fair. I'd kind of put it.
Yeah, you got anything you want to change in that? Sorry.
I can maybe see Oregon sliding in there instead of one of those schools, but it's close. I don't really have much of an argument with those 5.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. I was in the hunt, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Because
Oregon, Penn State?
Close. Hey,
outside. That's something outside that, the next 5.
If someone asked Texas, I'd put Texas in my top 10, but not my top 5. That's pretty clearly my top 5. I just don't know what order I'd put those top 5 in.
At their peak, Texas top 5 for sure, but it's they're not at their peak.
Whoa.
Yeah.
At their peak, Florida? No.
I'd throw LSU in there.
LSU at their peak.
USC even.
Yeah, at their peaks, but I kind of look at what have you looked like as a program over the last 10 years right now? Because we can get into peaks, valleys, who had the best peak, who had the best, who historically is the best program. But when you're talking about it right now, who are your top 5 programs of the last 10 years, 15 years? That's be my top 5.
Gotcha.
And I'm not a big Notre Dame fan anyway, but I have to respect that they're pretty good. You know?
I honestly think, and y'all tell me if you disagree, because there's nothing out about this. It's just kind of just opinion, maybe speculation. I honestly think that Michigan getting DeBoer could be their only chance to keep Bryce Underwood, because I don't know if he's wanting to stay there. I could see him entering that transfer portal.
I think there's another option that's on the table to keep Bryce Underwood, and I do think it affects the Tennessee Titans coaching search as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone.
Teaser. Naturally, with the cold weather, my aches and pain from my playing days, especially my shoulder, I was trying to knock people out, man. And man, now my shoulder's trying to knock me out. And all I did was go give Edge Peptide a call, of course, at 615-724-1878. And they prescribed me some BPC 157, which supports muscle, tendon, and ligament repair with no needles, no downtime, and no hassle. And I'm feeling the results of that. And I'm feeling great, of course. And so you want to get a jump start on it, too, as well. If you have some aches and pains, especially for this new year and all the partying you're going to do, for those holiday parties. So the approach to weight loss at Edge Peptide and hormone therapy is a little bit different. They make sure all patients have extensive lab work and a face-to-face conversation in office with our nurse practitioner to create the customized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. They use only U.S.-based FDA-audited compounding pharmacies because knowing where your peptides come from always matter. And Edge always uses the lowest effective doses to make sure that you are resetting your metabolic flexibility, not starving yourself, and like eating a balanced meal. Also get lower your A1C and keep your cravings in check, prioritizing protein and having someone guide your journey from start to finish. And all you have to do is just call the team at Edge Peptide, of course, with all your wellness questions at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878 or edgepeptide.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We've been talking about Sherrone Moore, the job at Michigan. We just put out a poll. Is Michigan football a top 5 job in the college football world right now? Some people are saying Clemson, Miami, USC, throwing out some names out there. And I'm just like, yeah, not really. Not really feeling any of those. But there's some names that are kind of floating to the top of the list. I'm going back to Bruce Feldman, who kind of threw out some names with some connections maybe to Michigan. Kalen DeBoer, obviously, is one of them. The next one on his list is Washington's head coach, Jed Fish, who spent 2 seasons in Ann Arbor early in Jim Harbaugh's tenure and was very well thought of internally by Michigan people. The 49-year-old Fish did a remarkable job reviving the Arizona program before taking the Washington job. And because he fielded a 10-win team that finished number 11 in the nation his 3rd season. So, and he's a guy that has been around Sean McVay and all of them as well. So he's kind of got a little bit of everybody in his like coaching DNA right now. They say Duke's Manny Diaz might get some consideration after leading the Blue Devils to the ACC title in his 2nd year on the job. 51 years old, 2-season run as Penn State's defensive coordinator, getting a taste of the Big Ten, so he's familiar over at Big Ten.
He was at MTSU for season 2 as a DC, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here's kind of a wild card candidate that he throws out there. New Mexico coach Jason Eck. He's a former Wisconsin offensive lineman. Eck has risen up the coaching ranks through the lower levels. He was the offensive coordinator at FCS powerhouse South Dakota State before Idaho gave him his first head coaching job. He crushed it there, and the Vandals gave Oregon all they could handle in 2024. Eck has New Mexico 9-3 after replacing the coach last year. The Lobos actually opened up at Michigan, losing 34-17. That was actually a pretty close game for like the first half. And they went on to hammer UCLA at the Rose Bowl and beat UNLV on the road and then beat 9-3 San Diego State. So, yeah. So, Dan Mullen's a name to throw out there for any of these jobs. But that's one that there. But here's the one that if there were betting odds and I were placing money on it, here's the guy that I think would be hired.
By Michigan.
And why I think that this does affect the Tennessee Titans head coaching search, and that's Jesse Minter, the former defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines national championship team, who's currently the Los Angeles Chargers defensive coordinator. That would seem like a seamless transition, but the one thing that I would say would be a negative in his column is that he's still tied to this whole era of the cheating scandal and now Sherrone Moore, even though he wasn't here with Sherrone Moore, all that's tied together and associated with each other.
But he was an assistant on the staff, though,
Yeah,
right?
he was an assistant, but I mean, defensive coordinator.
No, I mean Sherrone Moore.
Oh, Sherrone Moore was, I think, offensive coordinator at the time. So, I mean, he probably knows what was going on, but like what I'm saying is all that's kind of tied together. That could hurt his case, but I really feel like Jesse Minter's the guy, and that takes one candidate away from the Tennessee Titans this coaching cycle.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be interesting how much they want to cut ties to all of the Harbaugh and then what they think of Jesse Minter, not just as a head coach, but was he kind of separate from all of that, especially since he was on the defensive side? I'd be interested to hear what the view of the people who are really close to the program, like the guy that was talking on the radio there, like what is his thoughts of Jesse Minter? So, yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, because he's definitely an interview candidate.
Yeah. Some people suggested, what if they just go get John Harbaugh instead of Jim Harbaugh?
No, they're not going to do that. Hey, desperate times, desperate measures. So you want to, correct some things, but if you're not winning, they will do all they can to bring that winning mojo back.
And I'm going to keep throwing his name out for these college jobs, and Tennessee Titans fans are going to laugh. But I think he'd make a really good head coach in the college level, and I think Brian Callahan should be considered for some of these jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think he would be really good college coach.
Right.
Not Alabama, though. He can't come to Alabama. I mean, I like Brian Callahan.
But you said that's a louder move. So
but you go to Michigan.
He likes them, but just not at his school.
No,
my.
Who do you like at this point?
I said Brian
That's a little
Daboll.
wishy-washy
Yeah,
there.
it is what Brian Daboll. I just, I'd rather have Brian Daboll than Brian Callahan. But yeah, Jesse Minter's a name to watch because, obviously he's already been mentioned by Albert Breer in a couple of reports in connection to the Tennessee Titans, but such a strong connection and well-regarded coach already by NFL standards, knows your school, knows the ins and outs, probably knows still some of the players that are still there. I think that would be a good shot of keeping Underwood there. I don't know, what he did if he was even involved in the recruiting there for Underwood because he was on the defensive side of the ball or anything like that. But that to me would be the hire to make if I am Michigan. I know it comes with a little bit of attachment to your past and your recent, incidents with, Connor Stallions and all that. But that's a guy that would probably do really well for your program and maybe even elevate it just a little bit more from where Moore had it.
Well, I think he's probably a clean-laced guy, but just because you're on the staff with Harbaugh doesn't mean that you didn't rub hands the wrong way or not.
Right.
So you don't know the relationship. I think it's all about relationships, and if they think he was no parts of any of that, you never heard his name. Part of that,
nope.
Because he was only there, I think, a couple years.
Yeah, because he came over from Baltimore.
Yeah, he's with the Ravens there with the John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
See that?
There you go. The other Harbaugh.
Right. So I don't know if he's really connected to him like that, but they are. Obviously he knows both the brothers and they talk and communicate.
Yeah, because he was defensive coordinator at Vanderbilt in 2021, then went over to Michigan in 2022 and 2023. So he's there, but again, how connected is he? How connected is this whole program? That's something they all probably know because of all the trials, depositions, all that kind of stuff that was going on. But that's a name to watch.
For sure. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, because, how could you not even – I know, again, the ties that he has, 2022, 2023, he's at Michigan. But that's a guy who's proven that he's able to coach even at the pro level and get the most out of his players. You go look at that Chargers defensive depth chart, and you see how they were harassing Jalen Hurts all game?
Okay.
That was probably the most impressive game I've seen from Jesse Minter so far, and he's got a lot of impressive games play calling wise. But then you go back to what he was able to do at Michigan as well. That's a guy that the Tennessee Titans should entertain, but that's a guy, if I was Michigan, I would hire him in a heartbeat.
So if you had to go Minter or Fish at Washington, who are you going with? Because he's an offensive guy, right?
He's an offensive guy.
You're trying to keep Underwood.
Yeah. I would probably still go Minter, but I don't think Fish is a terrible consolation prize. I would probably rank them the top three this way personally. Minter, Fish, DeBoer. I would put DeBoer third. If I was Michigan. If I was Michigan up there, that would be my top three candidates. And if I got really any of the three, I would be happy if I'm Michigan.
Considering the timing and everything and what's going on.
Yeah. Don't think Eddie George will take the job. Someone in the chat suggested that.
Hey, man, you can't pass up opportunities. You may get an interview. You
never know. I'm very interested to see what path they take because they're still trying to figure out what they're going to, how deep did this go? Because I guess that's what this John Bacon guy said is that there's other steps that they're taking besides this whole athletic department is under investigation. They've hired Washington, D.C. law firms to investigate this entire athletic department because apparently – I don't really pay attention to other Michigan sports, but he mentions hockey and all that kind of stuff. There's apparently other scandals we're not
that people were rumoring talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and I love it. I hope it all comes crashing down. I can't stand the University of Michigan.
What did the University of Michigan do to you to make them hate?
I just think they think they're better. Michigan men, they love saying that. Well, the Michigan men mantra isn't working so well lately.
That is true.
I wouldn't mind seeing them, go through some tough times. Now that my former teammates that played at Michigan are, they're gone too. So
there you go.
All my friends are out of there.
All right.
That's a shocker.
Well, what? I don't like them. Do y'all like them?
I mean,
I don't
you know,
not
I'm
like
not.
him.
I'm now married into a Michigan family that are Michigan Wolverine fans, so I'm very indifferent to them.
Is that the wife?
Yeah.
Sorry, Lauren.
No, it's the husband. Like, what are you asking?
Come on, let's get out of here, man. Let's get,
Wait, what,
is it Friday
what
yet?
a question.
Is it Friday
What are
yet?
you talking about? That education
For
over
that, I mean, you must shave your mustache now.
there. Yeah.
No.
Off.
All right. 3HL's up next. This is cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. And in the meantime,
And in between time. Peace.